guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video in my uni series. So as you can see from the title of the video, today I'm going to be talking you guys through my second year uni experience. I'm going to be completely honest today when I talk about my second year uni experience. So if you guys are interested in hearing about my second year university experience, please keep on watching. If you guys like this video, make sure to smash a thumbs up down below and also subscribe if you haven't already. Just want to start off by saying that if you guys watch my first year uni experience video, you would know it didn't all go to plan and it wasn't an ideal year, you know, and I just wanted to get that across and be totally real. And I said at the end of that video that I'm very nervous to go into second year, but I really am trying to be positive and hoping that second year is going to be better for me. And it 100% was, guys. So anyone who's had a bad first year experience and you're nervous about second year, just know that it can definitely get better. So I think we should start off with my living situation. So in second year, I lived in a house. Living in a house is just a lot more homey. You just feel like you're living more of a normal life. I think that's what added to me disliking first year as well, was the experience of living in halls. I just felt like I was living somewhere that was like semi-permanent. It didn't feel like home, yet I spent the majority of the year there. I've put in capitals mold. Sis, the mold made me want to jump out of my window. Okay, I cannot deal with mold. We didn't have a fixed rate for using our electric, so the more we turned on the radiators, the higher our bill would be. And obviously we're all students here, we're not made of money, we don't want to keep the heating on all day during winter, and we didn't. We only put it on for a few hours a day, which made our house so unbelievably freezing cold. There was a time where our house was so cold that when Ethan came over to visit me, he lived 5 minutes away in his uni house, but when he came to my house to hang out, we had to be under my covers in bed. Like whatever we were doing, like watching a film, if he came over to study, we had to be under the covers. It was that cold. You couldn't just sit at my desk. It was unbearably cold. So basically by my bed, I had a bedside table, and then there was just like this little area where I would just dump all of my plastic bags that I would like reuse, you know, like Tesco shopping bags, Sainsbury's. I'd use them to put in the bathroom bin, in the bin under my desk and stuff. So I just had like a pile of plastic bags. And one day I was like cleaning my room and I was like, why am I keeping just a pile of plastic bags? I need to like put these all together and put them in another bigger bag or something. And I moved and I just saw mold all over the wall. It was black, it was green. Luckily it wasn't like furry, like I'm sorry if this is grossing anyone out, but it was bad. I also had a camera case there and it was just covered in a layer of mold. I wanted to cry. One of my housemates and good friends, Georgia, she does a biology degree, so she's very like, you know, mold is just like science. It's like a part of life. It grows. It's not a big deal. Like she probably looks at it under a microscope or something, so it's not like a big deal to her. But for me, it's the most disgusting thing in the world. When I discovered it, I first took a picture and sent it to my mum, because you know when you're at uni, like anything you do, you document and you send it to your mum. Like, Mum, like I just cooked some pasta, go me, I'm an adult. Like I was like taking pictures, like, Mum, what the fuck do I do? Like sending her pictures. I called Ethan and I was like, I need you to come over right now, I'm having an emergency. So he came to my house and I basically wanted him to clean it for me, but he was like, I'll help you, but you need to do this yourself, like for personal growth. And I was like, personal what? Personal growth? Like, excuse me, I am not the one who needs to worry about personal growth. The only growth that we need to be worrying about is the mold on my freaking walls. We need to get rid of that shit. So I got some like spray mold cleaner. I sprayed it on the wall and I like wiped it down, and whilst I was doing it, actual tears left my eyes. Like, I was crying and doing it at the same time, and my boyfriend was just sat on my bed laughing at me. Oh my god, I just remembered something so traumatic. Okay, this was more traumatic than the mold on the wall incident. I had a water bottle like this, like a reusable plastic one. And I noticed one day when I was drinking out of it, and guys, I promise you, I washed out my water bottle. Sorry, the sun's gone, the lighting shit again. I washed out my water bottle. I would put fairy liquid in it. I would scrub it, everything. So one day I had done that. And then later that day, I was drinking out of it, you know. And then at the bottom, it wasn't like this. The bottom was just clear plastic like this. I just saw these like dots everywhere, and they were like a dark browny color dots, and I was like,
bitch, if that's mold, I'm gonna pour bleach down my throat. What the fuck?
Your girl had been drinking mold. No one can top that. I don't care what your story is. In my freshest experience video, I told a story about people who'd actually grown a mushroom out of their bathroom floor. I'm sorry, this is worse than that. I was drinking mold without realising. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the workload. My academic life at uni in second year. So I'll first say that it's not a huge jump in workload. In my course anyway, it wasn't anything very drastic. But the one change that I really saw that was drastic was the amount of reading you were expected to do. There was so much reading for me to do every single week. It was very much a shock to the system. And because it was kind of thrown on us, it's hard to develop an efficient method to how you're going to read. You know, should I print it out and highlight some bits and then make notes, or should I just stick to highlighting? Should I not even print it out and just read it? Should I not even print it out and not just read it but make notes? Like, it's really hard to come up with a system, and I actually don't remember what I ended up doing. As for the course content in second year, we didn't get that much freedom with our modules. In first term, we had a lot of different modules. I think we had like 6 different ones, which is a lot of different modules to have in one term. The amount of modules we had in first term was definitely full on. It was a lot. And then in second term we had less modules. However, the modules that we were doing I found harder and less interesting, like cognitive and biological psychology. I really don't fuck with that stuff. I find it so boring. I find it harder to wrap my head around those concepts as well. So it kind of balanced out. Like first term there was a lot more stuff to study, but I found it more interesting. Second term there was less, but it was just so much more boring and difficult for me. But guys, in second year, if you guys watch my vlogs, I really put in the work. I was in the library all the time. In first year, I probably went to the library once. I wasn't confident going into the library. Where do I sit, you know? But in second year, it just became like my second home. In first year, I very much left my assignments until the weekend before that they were due, which I wouldn't recommend, but is kind of inevitable that that could be you in first year, especially when it doesn't count. You don't have the motivation to get it done early. But in second year, I made sure to start majority of my assignments 2 weeks before the due date. So then I'd have a good 2 weeks to take my time doing reading around the topic and then actually write it up. And I did see that pay off. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting better grades. I got better grades this year than last year. Last year I finished on like 62%, which is a 2-1. This year I finished on, was it 67 or 68? I can't remember. The other thing I wanted to touch on was that you don't always see the results for when you work really hard. Uni is so unpredictable. Honestly, I've had assignments where I spent 2 weeks in the library working my ass off, doing really thorough reading and all of that stuff, and then I get back the results and I get a 62, and it's the most crushing thing because you know you worked harder and you feel like you've earned a better grade than that. There are assessments that I did the weekend before that I got a high 2-1. I got 68, 69. Like, what? I'd say that was definitely a struggle for me this year, was that frustration. Next thing I'm going to talk about in terms of academic is suddenly I became very unsure of what I wanted to do with my life. A lot of people might mistakenly think that all you need to do to become a psychologist is to do just a BSc psychology course. I wanted to be a clinical psychologist, and to be honest, I Still to this day, I think it's actually what I would enjoy the most as a career. I love like empathizing with people. I'm a very compassionate person, but it's not that easy. You have to do the BSc, you know, that's like the first step. Then you need to get onto the doctorate, and this is where it gets really hard. You need, before you get onto the doctorate, you need at least 1 year's experience working as an assistant psychologist, which is very rare and very difficult to find. You don't have to do a master's, but I've heard it is harder to get in if you haven't done a master's, so that adds another year. Those are 2 extra years added on before you can get on. And then on top of that, there's a 15% rate, so there's a 15% chance of you getting onto the doctorate. So it's likely that you will apply and not get in, and then you'll have to wait a year and apply the next year. And it's kind of just like, how many years do I have to put into this? Like, you know, you kind of just get sick of it, sick of waiting around for your career to start. Although it comes across to you guys that I work hard, and I do, I'm actually not that much of an academic person. You know, to do a doctorate or a PhD, you need to be someone who is so freaking academic. Like my brother, for example. He lives, breathes, eats, sleeps physics. Like, literally, his enjoyment in his spare time is watching university physics lectures, and he's doing A-level right now, and he's been doing that since GCSE. You know, in my spare time, I'm not someone who likes to do academic stuff. I don't enjoy writing essays, you know? And I feel like you need to have that in you to be able to carry yourself through that process into becoming a clinical psychologist. Basically, second year was kind of hard for me because I just don't know what my end goal is. I really have no idea what my career path is going to be, and that's very stressful, and I feel like a lot of people go through that at uni. It's just, you're getting a degree, but you're like, for what? What is the end result? What am I working towards? So next I'm going to talk about extracurricular stuff, what I did in my spare time outside of uni. I'm going to like say it how it is. For the majority of second year, I really had my life together. I really had my shit together. I was doing a lot of extracurricular things, and I managed to balance it with my uni work, and I could still work hard at my uni work and have these other commitments. So I'm not gonna lie, guys, I was very organized. I went to the gym 4 to 5 times a week, and I loved it. It made me so happy. You know, it gives you those happy hormones. You guys would know if you watch my vlogs that I got into a routine of waking up between 5:30 and 6:30 most days. By the way, that's what I got up so early for. I don't think I could get up at 5:30 and launch into uni work. Like, my brain would just, you know, even for me, that's a bit much. The reason I got up so early was just to get to the gym and get it out the way. And I know at uni it's very difficult. People want to work out, people want to get exercise in, and it's like, how the hell do I fit it in? The only way that I could fit it into my lifestyle is if I did it really early and just got it out of the way. It was the first thing I did every day. The other thing I did was obviously YouTube. My audience growed a lot, and also I was just a lot more consistent. Most weeks I was uploading twice a week. Honestly, it's a big commitment. Filming itself can take, it depends on what you're filming. If you're filming something quite short, it could take only half an hour to film. If it's a makeup video, it could take 2 hours, which isn't like the most time consuming part. The most time consuming part is by far the editing. If it's a long video, it can take me 4 or 5 hours to edit. And that's like, you know, I could spend that revising, but somehow I managed to fit it in. The next commitment I had was Student Minds. I was doing that in first year also. I volunteer for a student charity called Student Minds, which is about student mental health. And also in second year, I started working for Soap and Glory. It was the most amazing opportunity ever. It was the coolest job to have. I'm not gonna lie, it was quite badly paid. You don't get paid that much, but they do kind of pay you by giving you free products to try out. Having a job that's on social media, like I did with Soap and Glory, meant that it was a lot more flexible. I didn't have to go to a physical place to work and earn money. I could do it from my phone. I've never worked with a beauty brand before, and as someone who loves makeup, I was so proud and happy to be working for them. I'm going to talk about my social life in second year. So I did a whole video about my freshers experience. If you want to go watch that, I'm going to put that up here in the cards. So I would say my social life went better this year than last year. I was going to more socials. I was going to VegSoc events, so I met people through that. You know, you just notice the difference. Like when I'm walking around campus, I just end up saying hi to a lot of people. knew a lot more people. Didn't have any fake friend drama. You know, I know a lot of people go to uni and they experience drama. Honestly, my life is very calm. I haven't experienced friendship drama or fake friend drama since year 9. I went out a bit less in second year than I did in first year, I think. But the difference was that I enjoyed it a lot more. As I said, like in second year, I kind of just found my feet. For the final bit of the video, I guess I'll touch on what I did struggle with in second year. So the first struggle I had was just struggles with adulting. I did touch on this in a vlog. It was called Transferring Uni Courses and Feeling Down, I think. I talked about how you can just feel this loss of motivation and you don't want to do anything. It's very hard to get used to being an adult. You just get into phases where you can't be bothered to do anything. And I left my laundry basket to pile up and pile up and pile up. And there'd be days where I wouldn't take out the bin under my desk would just be like a mountain. When you don't even have the motivation to take your laundry and put it in the washing machine and press go, that's when you know you're really struggling. Like, I went through phases of that. That's one thing I struggled with. The next thing I'll touch on is anxiety. So as I said, going out, I did enjoy it more than first year, but there were definitely occasions where I went out and I did not feel good about myself and I had to go home early because I still sometimes struggle with anxiety. One of my lowest moments of uni was actually after finishing exams. We were gonna go on a night out. We went to another friend's house and it was a big prees and I got extremely drunk because I had not drank in ages. It was my first time drinking after exams. I don't know what caused it, but my anxiety just came on, and when I have anxiety I feel like I can't breathe, so I was like, I'm gonna go outside and get some fresh air. So I was outside getting fresh air, and the next thing I knew, I went in and ran through the hallway and out the front door in tears, just like crying so much, hyperventilating. I had no idea what about. I have no idea what caused it, but it was honestly so embarrassing. There was a person there who I'm gonna live with this year, and I felt kind of embarrassed that he saw that side to me. Like, I was worried he was gonna think, who the fuck am I living with next year? I'm sure he wouldn't think to that extent. He's a really, really nice guy, but it's just embarrassing. And you know, like, and then Ethan had to take me home early and put me to bed because I was just an absolute mess. I had no idea what I had a panic attack about. It's the feeling of embarrassment, and it's the feeling of, why can't I be normal? Why can't I do normal people things? Why can't I just have a successful night out without getting overly anxious and having a panic attack and basically having a mental breakdown in front of people? The next thing I struggled with this year was towards the end of the academic year, around Easter, during exams, after exams, I started getting chronic pain, nerve pain in my back. I can't be bothered to really go into this in much detail. I'm considering doing a whole video about my scoliosis and chronic pain story. Long story short, I had scoliosis diagnosed at age 11. I had corrective surgery at 13, and since then I've been doing pretty well since the surgery. You know, I was still able to go to the gym and lead an active lifestyle. When you're in physical pain every day, it also affects you mentally. During the last few months and the last month or two of uni, I was really down about that. As I said to you guys, second year was the time where I really got into the gym, and to suddenly not be able to go to the gym again, to this day I have not worked out in about 5 months, because as soon as this pain came on, I knew it was too dangerous to work out. You don't stop to feel grateful until something gets taken away from you. So now I'm just like, oh my god, I was so lucky to be able to work out. I just want that back again. I am still waiting on seeing the doctors. It's ridiculous that I've had to wait 5 months to see anyone. But I'm seeing someone at the start of September. I'm low-key worried that I'm not going to be able to actually go back to uni, because I just have this gut feeling that I'm going to need surgery. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. Basically, my highs of second year was just finding my own feet and feeling more self-assured, as well as being able to balance studying hard with all my extracurricular stuff. The struggles of second year was I was still struggling with adulting, I don't think that ever really stops. I think I will continue to get those moments in third year where I just can't be bothered to do anything. It's just hard having to do everything for yourself all the time. Occasionally struggles with my anxiety, and then towards the end struggles with my health. That's everything for my second year uni experience, guys. I really hope you guys found this interesting and insightful. I really hope you guys are enjoying this uni series. If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure to give me a thumbs up down below. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon so you can stay notified each and every time I upload. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!